I didn't put together a long message, but it's kind of short and to the point. So God calls us to be obedient. You think he's talking about immediately or a couple years down the road, or what is he talking about there? I don't have the exact reference, but in Deuteronomy it said obedience is blessed and disobedience is cursed. So that's so anyway, for the kind of dive in a little bit this morning and about the flood and the ark. The flood and the ark there is a perfect example of obedience. But before we start, who knows how many animals Moses took on the ark with him?
I think Noah did it.
You got somebody that reads back there. So it said Noah, I'm not going to read the whole thing, but Noah was a righteous man in his time. And God spoke to Noah and he said, go out and build an ark. What did Noah do? He didn't say, well, maybe I should wait 10 years. Let's wait around 10 years, see if we get some rain by then, and if we get rain, I'll go build an ark. He just went right out there and started working. And at first he had help. He hired people to help him cut down the trees and stuff, but as time went on, people started making fun, but he didn't quit. He just kept right on going and right on working, and 120 years later he was finally done. So, and I'm not sure, it said he was 500 when he started building the ark, but I'm not sure if he already had 3 sons then. It just said in his 5th century he was given 3 sons, but I don't know, was he already working on the ark when they were born or not. But anyway, they went on the ark, and it rained for 40 days and 40 nights, and after that, the wind blew and dried up a little bit, and the ark hit a mountain, and there they sat. And he asked God about coming out, and it was a whole year before they were able to come out. So in that time frame, I think would be a little questioning. So the ark was measured in cubits. Who knows what a cubit is? It's approximate. So an actual cubit in those days was, they measured from their elbow to the tip of their middle finger. And so he's out there measuring the ark, just going along. It's just approximately 400 feet long. Another thing that I just found was the ark had the same amount of space as 250 railroad cars. Like the same amount of storage. So if you think a little bit how long that took to build by hand, there's no wonder it took 120 years. But in Genesis chapter 8 it says, and God remembered Noah and every little living thing that was, and all the cattle that was with him in the ark. And God made a wind to pass over the earth, and the fountains also the deep and the windows of the heaven were stopped, and the rain was restrained. Okay, in verse 20, and Noah built an altar unto the Lord, and took of every clean beast and of every clean fowl, and offered burnt offerings in the air on the altar. And the Lord smelled a sweet savor, and the Lord said in his heart, I will not again curse the ground any more for the man's sake, for the imagination of man's heart is evil from his youth, neither will I again smite any more every living thing as I have done. So we still see rainbows to remind us of that. But I was just thinking about that a little bit. What if Noah would have said, just let's give it a couple years, or what if he wouldn't have been immediate obedience? We don't know how God talked to him. We don't know, was it, just he was outside and he just started talking, or was it in a dream? We don't have anything on that. Another thing I found very interesting is they never found where the ark landed. They have approximate locations, but the mountain where they think it landed is under snow, and it says the snow never melts and it keeps piling up every year. It gets deeper. So it could very well be buried on the mountaintop. I thought that was pretty interesting. With that, I don't think that's an accident. Like, I think that was meant to be. But it says Noah was a righteous man, but he was human just like all of us. After he came off the ark, and it says they were multiplying again, and I guess people were growing, the families were growing. And in chapter 9, verse 20, it says, Noah began to be an husbandman, and he planted a vineyard, and he drank of the wine and was drunken, and was uncovered in his tent. And when Ham, the father of Canaan, saw the nakedness of his father, he told his two brethren without, and Shem and Japheth took a garment and laid it upon both their shoulders, facing the other way, and covered him. When Noah awoke, he was very upset with Ham, and so he cursed his children, because I guess he probably woke up and had a hangover and was kind of cranky on the whole deal, and he probably upset that everybody found out. But he cursed his children, and Canaan ended up to be a servant, which he was never involved. So anyway, he got the blame for his father. But anyway, I want to open it up, and if anybody has anything to chime in here, just feel free at any time.